Okay, Robert Eagleson here with the Calgary Hook and Hackle Club, and today we're going to do a shelf liner ant. Very, very simple fly, but it looks so good mostly because of that shelf liner head. Okay, so I will take this out and I will put in a size 12 dry fly hook. Just bring that down just a touch maybe. Okay, start my thread back half of the hook. I'll bring it back, clip my excess. I need a piece of black foam. This is 2mm foam, cut to about 4mm wide. I'm going to just clip this off to a point. And I will then tie that foam in by that point, and I will bring it back down around the bend a bit there. And then I'll make sure I squeeze all of the air out of that. All that foam is tied good, down good. Bring back my thread. And now I need about 4 pieces of Peacock herl. So I'm just going to pull off some Peacock herl out of my stash here. Tips are always going to be the most fragile part here, so I'm just going to clip those off. Then I'm going to tie that in right in front of that foam, tie it down good, bring my thread back, pull my thread down, and then I'm going to wrap this Peacock herl around that thread in a clockwise manner. So I'm going to make a little peacock chenille rope wrapping around that thread, and that just makes the peacock a little more strong, doesn't get ruined as bad by fish's teeth. So now I'm just going to wrap this peacock chenille up to about mid-shank. That should do it. I'll just tie that off. Clip my excess, and I'm going to bring the foam over, tie that down, a couple solid wraps, clip that foam off, and then I'm just going to make sure that that foam is all flattened down, and then I'm going to make a waist, a very thin waist, all the way up to about 1 eye width away. Okay, now I'm going to do a wing. Now, I like to use these old Indian necks. I don't know, they're gross looking things with, anyway, it doesn't seem to matter where you pull that feather off. The tips are all the same on those old Indian necks. So I've got a one feather here. I'll just prepare that by stripping most of it away. So I'm just going to use the tip. So I've just got a tip here that's going to be a little bit big. So I'll just make it a little smaller. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, maybe. A little smaller. Alright. I tried tying these on the back, but I find that it makes the feathers stick up too much, so I'm tying them on the front of this fly. So there's one I'll just grab a second hackle. Same thing there, just prepare the tip by stripping the barbs off both sides. I want these the same, so I'm just going to make this one a tad smaller. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit long, so I'm just going to pull that. That looks better. Get them about even, and then I'll clip those off. Now, the shelf liner foam, I cut this in a strip, comes in a big sheet. I just cut them off on strips, and just grab one, and as you pull it apart, it just makes those little antennas that just look perfect. So I'm going to tie this in by the back antennas, so the head is going to stick out over the eye of the hook a bit there. I'm just going to tie that down pretty good, and I'm going to leave those antennae there. They don't hurt anything, and they kind of look like, give it a little buggier thing, maybe legs or whatever there. Alright, now I do need some legs, so I'm going to use, this is Moose Hawk. Can't see that very well, but dark, thick moose. I'm just going to take about, I don't know, 10 fibers maybe. So I'll take that moose, I'll just clean all the fuzz out of it. I'm going to put it in a stacker, and for little bits of hair like this, I like to use a smaller hackle stacker. So once you've got those stacked, I'm just going to tie those in. I don't want them real long, but you know, let's go, yeah, right about there. So a couple fairly loose wraps, kind of spread that to the sides. It doesn't look too bad. And then we'll give it a couple snugger wraps. Clip the butts off. And then I am just going to do a whip finish here. And I'll bring my thread underneath. Let's give it another quick whip finish underneath. And I'll just clip that thread off. Okay. So now I'm just going to use a pair of fine tweezers here. I grab some of those legs. Just give them a crimp, just to kind of give them a little more of a buggy look. Dig them out of the feathers there. Anyway. Yeah, just want to crimp those a bit so that they don't look quite as straight. Anyway, get the idea there. So there is the shelf liner ant, and like I say, that head and the thin waist in there gives it a kind of an ant profile, and works very good, should float very well. Thanks for watching.